Welcome to the Vault XL. Thank you for joining me. This commentary is pertaining to polls that I put onto my community page late this morning. There are a lot of questions, so I put enough on there to try to fill up the time for this live stream. Thank you all so much for joining me. New format on this network to talk about hypothetical situations, life-altering situations. What would you do? What if? Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $Big Angie 129 Cash App. Stick chats are always welcome during the live stream. Thank you so very much. Let's start with the first question. Feel free to comment in the chat. Feel free to go over to the community page and take the poll. It's anonymous. Nobody has to know what your answer is. If you want to kindly respond during the live stream, because a lot of the questions are very personal, so you need to be careful if you want to answer or not in the chat. Comment on the video or comment on the community page under the said poll. You have either option to comment and or take the poll. But as I said, a lot of the questions that you're going to hear during this live stream are all hypothetical situations. Some are very sensitive, the questions. Some may question why I'm asking, because I can. You don't have to respond. You don't have to answer. This is to show how people think. What would people do in a certain situation? And as most of you know, with true crime, people do things that people don't agree with. Daily situations, people get themselves wrapped up into drama, and you're asking yourself, well, why did they do that? I wouldn't do that. And then as quick as we say what we wouldn't do, we've already done what we've criticized others for. So enjoy the ride. Thank you for joining me. Let's get started, everybody. Welcome to the Vault XL. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Would you date a younger person? I can't see with these glasses. Hello, everybody. Hello. Got 20 in the room. Thank you. Get those thumbs up. Dated younger. How many of you have dated someone younger than yourself? 42% yes, 13% yes, but never again. No, 43%. Maybe 2%. Thanks for the votes. 114 votes. We've got 2 comments. Torty2 says, love your no-nonsense streams, but my feed is clogged with your questions. Blowing head emoji. And the queen replied, yes, now live to discuss these Q&A. Wink. All right. Would you sleep with your boss? Interesting. 6% yes, 80%, 86% no. 4% of you said you're not sure if you would sleep with your boss or not. Have done it, regret it, 2%. Have done it, no regrets, 3%. Wow, 195 votes. Thank you for that. Happy Watcher 962 replied, well, since I'm retired, I guess I'm the boss of my life. So yes, I sleep with my boss every night and we aren't married. The queen replies, good Lord, Happy. Laughing emojis. All right, let's get on with the next one. Thank you so much for joining me. Your friend, relative, parent, child, or sibling's mate made a pass at you. Do you tell? 63% yes. Yes, if family, only 11%. No, 12%. Not sure, 8%. Maybe tell, but can't decide which one, 6%. Wow, very interesting. Would you date or have a fling with someone who has been with your friend, sibling, parent, relative, or a child? Yes, openly, 4%. Yes, but a secret, 1%. No, 89%. Not sure, 1%. Not if family, 5%. One person has responded. Never, but my brother probably would. Laugh out loud. Much love, Queen. That's Pinto 120. All right, Pinto. Now, he may not like that comment. Your partner slept with your mate, sibling, child, parent, friend, or relative. Do you seek revenge and leave, or you leave, then seek revenge? Sorry, I didn't have room for this option on the previous poll. So let's see what you guys had to say. Seek revenge, leave, 0%. Leave, then seek revenge, 12%. Not sure, 3%. Neither. Move on, never go back, 83%. Homicide on any of them, 2%. Woo, scary. So 2% out of 59 votes said they would unalive a person. Wow, 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 wow. Thank you all so much. If your mate slept with your friend, parent, sibling, child, or relative, would you stay or leave? Okay. Stay, 0%. Leave, 96%. Separate, 3%. Commit assault, unalive them, 1%. Seek revenge, but stay, 0%. 96% of you said you would leave if your mate slept with friend, family, child, relative, your brother, sister, whomever. All right, next question. Have you slept with your friend's mate, partner, spouse? 8% of you voted yes. 90% said no. You tried it, but he or she wasn't interested, 0%. Thought about it or still do, 0%. Thought about it, but wouldn't do it, 2%. Thank you for the votes. Did you run away as a child, as a kid? 24% says yes. 63% said no. Wanted to, 9%. Yes, I did it, but regretted it, 2%. Want to run away now, 2%. Thank you all so much. If you could get away with the big M, would you do it or hire someone? Yes, do it myself, 7%. No, 91%. Maybe, 2%. Yes, hire someone, 0%. Would you date or stay in a relationship if the person has bad hygiene? Okay, all right. Yes, 0%. 87% of you said no. I would not stay with a person that had bad hygiene. Not sure, 11%. Have in the past, but not again, 2%. One person has replied. Touch of Class says to the Queen, I would most likely address the issue. If I'm already in a relationship, then notice it is an issue, which means I already care. I would first try to share my concerns before leaving. Well, that's the adult thing to do. Hey, you've got a little body odor going on. Or, hey, you stink. Guess it depends on your delivery. But what if the odor is so atrocious and nothing is rectified? The person doesn't rectify it. They don't try to seek a doctor. They don't try to change their hygiene habits. And you're just fed up. Just asking. All right. That was Touch of Class. Said they would try to talk it out. Okay. Got to go back again. When I go to the questions, it loops me out of the answers. Okay. Out of the poll, rather. Okay. So 87% of you said date or stay in a relationship. 87% no. I guess you wouldn't. Do you believe in heaven and hell? Yes, both, 83%. Only heaven, 2%. Only hell, 0%. Purgatory, 0%. Neither, 15%. While growing up, did you harm your sibling or siblings? 9% said yes. 89% voted no. 2% of you tried to. 0% of you are trying right now. Wow. Did you get someone fired due to bad service? Yes, 4%. 90% said no. Tried once, but nothing happened, 4%. Tried many times, but gave up, 0%. Still trying, 2%. Okay. Next question. Have you ever got a coworker fired? 11% of you said yes. 86% of you said no. Tried in the past. I tried to, 2%. Want to, but won't do it, 0%. And currently trying to get somebody fired, 0%. Have you ever done something spiteful to your neighbor? I'll let you all think about that. Okay. Yes, I got caught, arrested, 0%. Yes, never caught, 9%. No, never done anything to the neighbor, 80%. Want to, but would not, 11%. Want to right now, 0%. Do you care if parents may like each other or get along? 69% of you do care that your mate and family gets along. 31% of you said no, you don't care. So most of you do want your family members to get along with your lover, spouse. Does your mate like your siblings? Yes, 49%. 11% no. Sometimes 14%, not sure, 23%. Wish he or she did, 3%. Do your siblings like your mate? Yes, 50%. 15% no. 15% sometimes. There's a tie between no and sometimes. Not sure, 18%. Very interesting. Wish they did, 3%. Do your parents like your mate? 50% of you said yes. That's not good. 20% of you said no, they don't like your mate. 13% of you are not sure. And then sometimes it's 17% and wish they did like my mate, your mate, 0%. Okay. Does your mate like your parents? 60% of you said yes. 13% said no. 17% sometimes. And I wish they did, he or she did, like my parents, 0%. As a child, did you ever want different parents? Okay. 33% of you said yes. 44% of you said no. Sometimes 18% still do want different parents, 0%. Don't care and or have accepted their ways, 4%. Do your parents currently favor your siblings over you? Very interesting. And I will put sibling rivalry for the next poll. 1 second, because I have to take notes. Because YouTube told me this morning, you have reached your maximum poll limit. A post rather for 24 hours. So let's put that on the next questionnaire for you guys. And then we'll chop it up at a later date. Thank you so much for tuning into this live stream of What Would You Do? What If? Know that the polls that you take on my community page are anonymous. Nobody has to know what you voted. You pick any option and you feel free to comment if you want to. If you feel like somebody will judge you according to your comment, don't comment. Because if you're using your government name, they'll know what you said. So don't comment under your government name. All right, everybody. I'm going to get back to this. So, parents favoring siblings over you. 43% of you said yes. Your parents have favored the other children. 45% of you said no, so that's almost a tie. Sometimes 11%. Did your parents favor your siblings? Oh, I think I wrote that already. Hold on. Oh, I put it up 2 times. I'm sorry. Do your parents currently? Okay, hold on. Let me reword this because it's a double. It's a double whammy. So let me repeat it again. Do your parents currently favor your siblings? 43% yes, 45% no, 11% sometimes. Now, past. Did your parents ever favor your siblings over you? Yes, they did, and I told them, 35%. Yes, never told them, 11%. No, 41%. Wanted to, but my parents are no longer alive, 3%. Want to, but can't, don't care, accepted it. That's kind of a wide range, but I had to put it all in there because they only give you 5 options for the polls. So you wanted to, but you can't do it for whatever reason. You don't care anymore, and or you've accepted it. 11% of you voted for the fifth option. So let's go back. At one point, your parents favored your siblings over you, and you did tell them, 35%. They favored them, and you never told them, 11%. And 41% of you said no. Your parents never favored the other kids. Did you tell the parents they could have done a better job raising you? Yes, the polls are on my community page. You're free to comment during this live stream if you feel comfortable with your government name and answering the questions. But as I've told some people, a lot of people don't really like following the instructions of the polls. The polls are for you to take. I give you options. I even give you yes, no, not sure. Sometimes, just to fill the spaces up. Because sometimes as people say, oh, it's not black and white. So I always give you an option besides yes and no. But some people have trouble with that for some weird reason. I don't know why, but it's just very strange. Okay, let me get on up here. Okay, thank you. I appreciate you all tuning into this live stream. Just giving you all something to ponder on. Hypothetical situations. 9 times out of 10, everything that I'm asking has happened to somebody in their life at one point or the other. As I said, if you're using your government name, you might want to rethink commenting. Okay, let's get a sip of water here. Did you ever tell your parents they could have done a better job raising you? 16% yes, 56% no. Wish I could, they are gone, 9%. Can't bring self to do it, 4%. Don't care, wouldn't matter, accepted it, 16%. So 16% is yes, and also don't care, wouldn't matter, accepted it. 56% of you said you never told your parents about how they raised you, if they did a good job or not. Did you have a good or decent childhood? 48% yes, 13% no. Wish it was better, 17%. Parents did their best, 17%. Parents did not do their best, 4%. Do your parents like and or love you? 80% of you said yes. That's a good number. Out of 44 votes, it's not a lot of votes, so. Say yes, but they don't show it, 9%. Yes, once before, bad ties now, 7%. Never showed like or love to me, 5%. Do you like your parents? Yes, love them as well, 73%. No, but love them anyway, 15%. Neither like nor love them, 13%. If you knew you were to die tomorrow, would you have regrets? 46% of you said yes, the highest number out of 46 votes. Want to go back and get a redo, 9%. Yes, but take my fate, 15%. None, 30%. Have you wished death on a person? Yes, 33%. 47% no. Only bad luck, 20%. Somebody has commented. Tina Bulger, 5579 said, I've wished they get their karma, whatever that may be. Okay. Have you forgiven your abusive parents, guardians? 79% yes, 6% no. Wish I could, 15%. If abused by your parents, guardians, did they ever admit they were sorry? Rather, you confronted them or you never said a word? 35% of you said yes. 65% of you said no. Wow. So most of you who voted, your parents never apologized for abusing you. Okay, 26 votes. Did your parents, guardians abuse you? Did you tell them how you felt? Yes, I was abused, 3%. Yes, I told them how I felt, 36%. Wish I had, 15%. Never abused, 46%. Were you ghosted by a date or partner, but you let them come back? Yes, it worked, 13%. Yes, it did not work, 29%. No, 58%. So 58% of you have been ghosted by a date or partner, but you did not let them come back. Have you ever rekindled a partner date that you ghosted? So this is a trick question now. Yes, 28%, 72%, no. It's kind of the same question I just asked. Okay. So really it's the same question. So I've reworded it. So I guess I'm doing a little reverse psychology. Asking the same question twice. Sorry about that. Forgive me. I have a lot of things on my mind when I'm doing these polls of questions to ask, and I try not to ask it the same way the next time because that question was kind of really the same. But anyway, have you ghosted a partner or date? Yes, but felt bad, 21%. Yes, did not feel bad, 24%. No, 55%. Have you stolen, forged documents, or committed plagiarism? Do you have remorse or not? Yes, remorseful, 15%. Yes, no remorse, 0%. No, I have not done either, 85%. Have you broken the law? Yes, once, 10%. Yes, more than once, 45%. No, 45%. 40 votes. Have you used cruel punishment, abusive to your kids? Yes, still do, 0%. Yes, but stop, 5%. No, 91%. No, but wish I did, 5%. Very interesting. Have you ever been a swinger? 2% of you voted yes, 96% no, would try it, 0%, not sure, maybe 2%. So 2% of you aren't sure if you want to swing or not. Maybe. 0 said I would try it. Okay. Could you be in a polygamous marriage? 0% yes, 91% no. Thought about it, 2%. Would try it, 4%. Not sure, 2%. You have a mate, but desire someone else. Be very careful how you answer that question. Don't want any problems. Thank you all. I got 37 in the house. 8% of you are with somebody right now, but you want to be with somebody else. You are desiring another human being. 78% of you said no. 13% said sometimes, often 3%, got a second person or more. Already 0%. Do you want out of your marriage relationship right now? 8% yes. 73% of you said nah, I'm all right. Sometimes 16%. Often 3%. 37 votes. Do you regret your marriage right now or a previous one? Yes, currently 6%. Regret the marriage they're in right now. Yes, previous marriage, 35% you regret. No, currently, you don't regret it, 26%. No, previous, 13%. Unsure, sometimes, 19%. Do you regret having kids? I've asked you this question a couple of months ago. Let's go back in and see what you all have voted because I have new members and new viewers to the network. A couple of hundred new people, so they get the chance to ask this question, answer this question if they like. Do you regret having children? 3% said yes, 87% said no, 10% said sometimes. Chronic bad breath. Tell it or say nothing. Tell them, but I avoid them, 36%. I tell them, but continue to be around them, 45%. I don't tell them, but be around them, 3%. Don't tell them, but avoid them, 15%. Giving you all options. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Pinto. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. So once again, let's go over that. Let's go over that poll. This poll has a lot of options. Thank you for joining me. Chronic bad breath. Do you tell it or you don't say nothing? 36% of you said I'm going to tell them, but I'm going to avoid them. 45% of you said I'm going to tell them, but I ain't going to be around them. 3% said I ain't saying nothing, but I ain't going to be around them. And then 15% of you said I ain't going to tell them, but then I'm going to avoid them. All right. Do you tell your coworker they smell? Wow. Queen, you are something else with yourself. Yes, I am. 18% of you said you would tell the coworker they smell. 47% of you said, nah, I ain't going to tell it. 29% of you would go to the boss or HR. 0% would send a note. 5% would send a private note. 5% of you sent a note in the past. So 0% of you wouldn't send a note to somebody that smells. Really? Well, I would tell something, but I ain't going to tell it just in case this person ever decides to watch the network. Want to keep some secrets to myself. Ooh, Lordy. Ever have smelly guests in your home? Did you also say something? Thank you all for the love. I really appreciate it. Food for thought. That's what this poll and live stream is about. The various polls. Hypothetical situations that all of us have been in at some point or another. And I'm giving you the chance to comment and or take the polls. Once again, if you're using your government name, you may not want to give your comment on the poll. On the comment section of on the channel and or right now. Sorry about that. All right, a lot of questions. 27 minutes in. Wow. Jesus, Lordy me. Let's keep it going because there are more. Hold on. Thank you all for participating. I got jumped off of there for a second. Hold on. Woo. Give my mouth a break. Good Lord. 18%, once again, would tell a coworker they smell. 49% of you said no, wouldn't say anything. 28% would go to a supervisor and or human resources. Send a note, 0%. And 5% said they did it in the past. They sent a note. Smelly guests in the home. Did you also say something? Yes, 26%. 43% said no. Yes, but never said anything, 6%. Never let them come back, 20%. And still let them visit, 6%. Have you ever put a smelly person into your car? Did you tell them? 22% of you said yes. 44% of you said no. Gave a ride but said nothing, 34%. Never did it again, 0%. And kept giving rides anyway, 0%. Someone is in distress but appears dirty, smelly. Do you perform mouth-to-mouth resuscitation or the Heimlich maneuver? 65% of you out of 31 votes said you would go ahead and render aid. 19% of you said no, rather not say, 16%. Okay. You find a wallet. What do you do? Turn it in untouched, meaning you do not take anything out of the wallet, 95%. Take contents, discard the wallet, 5%. 40 votes. Somebody has a comment. Turn it in, says Selena Dixon. Okay. Should U.S. have secure borders? No way to enter. 94% yes, 6% no. You know the pastor of your church is having an affair, affairs, plural, Do you attempt to have him voted out? 50% says yes. 9% of you said no. And wow, 41% of you said you're not sure. Very interesting. So 50% wants to vote him out, and 41% of you are not sure what you would do. Wow, wow, wow. Interesting. You caught an STD from your mate or from someone in the past. What did you do? I confronted them, but I stayed with them. 14%. Confronted them and I left. 62%. Never told them. 10%. Rather not say. 14%. And that's 21 votes. So that's not a lot of votes. Your mate gives you an STD, HIV, AIDS. Do you stay or leave? 4% of you said you would stay. 64% of you would leave. If HIV, AIDS, I run. 12%. Not sure of either. 4%. Leave and try to prosecute. 16%. 25 votes. Ladies, your man admits he likes or has been with a man. Do you stay or do you leave? I've asked this question before. 4% are going to stay. 85% are leaving. Not sure. 11%. Whew, scary. 27 votes. Ladies, you find out or catch your mate dressed in your undies, clothes, and shoes. Do you stay or leave? 0% said they would stay. 92% said they're leaving, and not sure 8%, 26 votes. Very interesting. Are you in a current relationship that has horrible sex? 8% said yes. 62% said no. Have done it but wouldn't again. 19%. Have done it would stay. 0%. Does not matter to you. 12%. 26 votes, everybody. Is sex the only reason you are with your current mate? Yes, 0%. 89% said no. 11% said rather not say. Did you marry, date your current spouse or mate for their looks only? Yes, 4%. 91% no, and rather not say 4%. Did you marry or date for money with your current spouse or mate? Yes, 9%. No, 87%. Rather not say 4%. You saw the person, know them or have description of who broke into your neighbor's home, car. Do you get involved? 75% of you would tell it. 4% of you said no. Only if I like him or her. 8%. Not sure. 13%. Please take the polls on my page. Is your mate or spouse capable of homicide? 10% yes. 60% no. 20% not sure. Hope not, but I have seen signs of violence. That's 10%, and that's only 20 votes. Okay. Now imagine the two Kentucky friends that were allegedly assaulted at a Bahamian resort. Find out they've contracted an STD or worse. Weigh in. Nobody responded to that on my page. So that's a hypothetical question. Two women went to the Bahamas recently. They alleged they were assaulted by two men. Imagine the women now find out they have an STD or HIV positive. Next question. This is a flip question because the next question is going to be similar to this one. So listen very carefully to the options. That's why you should go over to the page and take the polls, okay? Thank you. You hit something in the dark. Do you stop and get out to check? It is a person. Do you render aid, call 911, or do you leave? Here are your options. You stop, check, render aid, call 911, stay, 87%. Stop, check, call 911, but you leave, 0%. Stop, check, leave, 0%. Keep driving, call 911 later, 10%. Keep driving, do nothing, 3%. Wow, that's scary. 31 votes. You look at your car in the morning and notice blood. You hear someone passed away from a hit and run where you were previously the night before. Do you turn yourself in to the police? 48% yes, 11% no, 37% of you are not sure. Eventually, 4% out of 27 votes. Tracy Joe says, I'd like to say no, but the guilt would absolutely eat away at me. Damn, Tracy Joe, you willing to put that on a live? You want to comment to that? Ooh, lordy, 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 lordy. Because I got 11% saying no, they would not turn themselves in. And then Tracy says she'd like to think that she wouldn't. That's scary. Good Lord. A close friend, known person, sexually assaults you. Do you file a report and follow through legally? 83% yes, 10% no, 7% not sure. 3 commenters, or 2 rather. Somebody says, I would handle it nonetheless. The queen replies, meaning what exactly? So what are you saying? You would exact revenge? What are you saying? I don't know what you mean. Whew, Lordy. If you're holding a secret about a heinous act by someone, why haven't you told the police? Loyalty, 6%. Scared. Fear retaliation, 47%. That's the highest one. Don't feel it's your place, 6%. Don't want to testify, labeled a snitch, 0%. All of the above, 41%. 17 votes, 1 person commented. Sasha Johnson says she would tell the police. Okay. Do you hold a secret about someone involving a heinous act? 8% yes, 92% no. A cold case later names your spouse, parent, child, or friend as the suspect. Do you support them? Yes, 10%. 21% no. Family only, 17%. 52% of you are not sure. Here's the comment by Kimberly, or Kimberly, 61. She says, support doesn't mean they shouldn't be held accountable. I reply, I guess it depends on the person doing the supporting. This was a Q&A with options. Did you take the poll? Just asking. So 52% of you are not even sure what you would do if friend, sister, brother, mama, daddy, lover was labeled a suspect. Oh, Jesus. And 52% of you said you're not sure if you'd support them or not. Very interesting. If you answer not sure or eventually to the minor child homicide question, well, let me ask that first. Let me ask that question. Hold on. 2-part question. Your minor child confessed to you about a homicide of a friend, acquaintance, or random person. Do you turn him or her in? 76% said yes. 7% said no. 14% not sure. Eventually, 3%. Okay, so 76% of you said you would turn your kid in, whoever they unalived. Trick question. If you answered not sure or eventually you turn them in, tell me why. No commenters. Of course. A man or woman has a child or many kids, children, and he or she is ordered to pay child support. Is it fair for the judge to remand the spouse to pay it if they do not work or can't make the whole payment? 52% of you said yes. I'm shocked at that number. 29% of you said hell no. Only if spouse's income is very high. 10% of you said you're not sure out of 21 votes. I replied, dang, I can't believe some of y'all think it's right for the spouse to pay child support on a kid that is not theirs. Huh? Just saying. I don't think a judge should never tell me to pay for this man's child or children whether I have a high income or not. Those are not my kids. They're not my responsibility. And if he wasn't married to me, he would solely be responsible for the children, and he should solely be responsible with or without me. That's my opinion. You find out that your close friend, family member is using drugs. Do you continue to deal with them, invite them into your home, car? 20% yes, 40% no, not sure, 8% yes, but not invite them in my home and car, 20%, speak to them only, 12%. You witness or have credible info that your friend's mate spouse is cheating. Do you tell them? If no, why not? Yes, I'm going to tell it, 52%. No, not going to tell it, 17%. Don't want to tell it so it doesn't cause a problem, 9%. 2 and 3, 9%. So 2 would be no, and don't want the person to go back and say I was involved or told it. So 9% once again for no and don't want to cause a problem. 13% of you said you're not sure. Imagine if you were arrested or fined because of negative comments posted to social media. Any thoughts? Any thoughts? Should we go back to landlines only? No internet, no apps. 50% yes, 50% no. 36 votes. Cell phones, Facebook, IG Messenger. Stop the texting option. Could you live without it? 80% yes, 16% no, 4% not sure. If the internet app stopped today, never resumed, could you maintain without it? 65% yes, 22% no, 13% not sure. Kind of similar to the last question. Is it right to post to Facebook, internet, that a man or woman gave you an STD, HIV, AIDS? 24% of you said yeah, put them on blast. 71% said no, 5% of you not sure. Please take that poll. Is it right to out a man on Facebook, rather dating him or not, if you find out he is gay or bisexual? 0% yes, 88% no, 12% not sure. Should people post themselves or others in hospital beds on Facebook? 28% says yes, 72% says no. Do you think posting personal business to social media is a good idea? Yes, 4%. No, 96%. Would you travel to Mexico, Jamaica, Bahamas, or any island knowing there is high crime, and why? 3% of you said yes. 86% of you said no. Don't think anything bad will happen to me. 3%. 1 and 3, 7%. And once again, my last question pertaining to my live stream yesterday. I'm curious to why Allison Harris the family did not post a public obituary. Somebody replied, Quinny, 6920 said, costs maybe. Justin called and verified her death, though I personally am not going to have one myself. So I replied, if you're deceased, you can't post it. And then Tracy Joe sent a laughing emoji, which is true. If you die right now, you don't know what's going to be done as far as your arrangements. Here we go. 43-minute polls. Thank you so much. I have a few more questions on here that I didn't get to put on the post because YouTube gave me a limit of posts. So let's go. Would you date an older person? Somebody older than you. How about that? Oh, I could put a poll up here. See, I don't work all these options on here. About to put up a poll. 28 in the house, 28 thumbs up. Thank you. Take the poll. Let me know when you all are done so we can read the results. Well, tears ran dry. Once again, as I said, you can have everything arranged to your specifications, how you want this to be done. That doesn't mean that people are going to follow through because you're not alive. So you die tomorrow, you have an itemized list of what you want to wear, what you want in obituary, no obituary, cremation, no cremation. It's still up to the people who are going to be left behind to decide what to do with you. Let's see the results to the poll. Thank you for joining me. Oh, sorry. I'm on the wrong page. Oh, Lord of mercy. Wrong device, rather. 78% of you said yes, you would date an older person. 20% no, 0% not sure. Let's end the poll. How many people took it? 11 votes. 28 people, only 11 votes. Come on, you guys. Well, Jay, that's the whole point of the the questions. You don't have to answer. You don't have to take the polls. You don't have to respond here in the chat. You don't have to respond. You don't have to take the polls in the chat. This is just a live stream about hypothetical situations. 26 viewing, only 14 people took the poll. Take the poll. I'm going to end it. 86% of you said you would date an older person. All right. Okay. Would you date the same sex or have a relationship with same sex or experiment? Let's go there. I don't know why I can't get this poll off of here. There we go. All right. Next question. Here's your next poll. $28 viewing, 14 votes. Would you date the same sex or try or experiment with the same sex? Yes, no, not sure. Oh, I meant to put have done it. Oh, sorry about that. That was an option I didn't put up there. Sorry. 14 votes. Gonna go on out of that. 71% says no. 29% says yes. 15 votes now. 27% yes, no, 73%. Well, we're going to ask another question because I didn't give you the option. $75% no. Okay. Another poll. Similar question. Have you been with the same sex? Yes, no. Hold on a minute. I don't know why I can't get this in here. I don't know why I can't get this option to go in here. Hold on a minute. Yeah. Sorry. Taking so long. Here we go. I once broke up with a guy because when making out, his hair was too soft, but I'm crazy like that. What? Oh, Lord, please stop it. His hair was too soft. What the hell you say? What? Okay. Well, how old are you, Beverly? Take the poll. 29 viewing, 16 voted. %75% of you will not date the same sex. The next poll is I have been with the same sex. 21% says 20% yes, 70% no. Yes, wouldn't do it again. 7% thought about it, 0%. 15 votes. Do you need more time to take the poll? 13 of you did not vote. It's not rocket science. Yes, no, whatever. Pick an option. Kissing and running my hands through his hair was a turn off. Dear God, you all, please stop it. 17 votes. %76% of you have not been with the same sex. You're welcome, sweetheart. Thank you for joining. Thanks for participating. 76% of you have not been with the same sex. 17% yes, you have. excuse me, 76% said no. 17% you have. 5% said yes, I've done it, but wouldn't do it again. And 0% of you thought about it. All right. Next question. Tears, Rand, what are you talking about? Nothing. I was about to read the same poll again. Take the polls. So Hyacinth, you saying unless it's dreadlocks. Oh Lord, y'all are killing me. Somebody says, I don't guess if my soulmate was a female, maybe I would try same sex, but it's never come about or been presented to me or offered a date by a female. Laugh out loud. Good Lord, y'all are killing me. I never liked my siblings. Well, damn. Okay. Only child, laugh out loud. Okay. Just take the poll. Every question is not going to apply to everybody. So just 43% of you said yes, 40% no. Had it as kids, but not now. 13%, sometimes 7%. If you want to still take the poll, let me know before I take it down. Maybe I should ask that question. Ooh, Jesus. 40%, yes. Next poll. Try to word this properly. Beverly. That's why you all need to take the polls on the community page. Because some of you are commenting on things that I've already asked. So feel free to take those polls on my community page about sibling rivalry, brother, sister, relationships, all of that. Okay. $17 votes. So let's see what you all have to say. Yes, you like and love your siblings, 64%. No, 9%. Sometimes don't, but love them, 33%. Okay. 38 people take the poll. Only 12 votes out of 38 people watching. Which made me even more suspicious that I didn't belong or fit in. What? What are you all talking about down there? You all just be chatting. What y'all talking about? Lord have mercy. 16 votes. Okay. 40 people in the house. Take the poll. Thank you. It's all anonymous. Nobody has to know what you voted. Thank you, Beverly. I don't know why they're so shy. It's just a poll. It's like nobody knows what your answer is. They're only going to know if you respond in the chat to say this or that. You don't have to respond. You could take the poll. Nobody knows how you voted. You would think you got a weapon pulled out. Take it, take it, take it. What is the problem? Oh, Jesus. I never seen it. Excuse me, I've never seen anything like it. It's like, y'all act like I'm in your car, in your living room with you right now with a weapon. Take this pole, will you? It's like, what? Oh, Jesus wept. When this live stream is over and you've got some free time, please go to my community board and take the extensive polls. It's a lot of questions, but I had to have a lot to fill the slot up for this live stream. Okay, so I was done in about 43, 42 minutes just reading the polls and the questions and Q&A, plus anybody who commented on it. The polls are up for your entertainment. Feel free to take them. Nobody has to know how you voted. You also can comment, but as I said, if you're using your government name, you may not want to put a certain comment down. So just letting you know. Same thing within this live stream. 26 votes. Let's go ahead and end it. 69% says yes, 12% no. Sometimes I do. No, sometimes I don't like or love like my siblings, but I love them anyway. That's 19%. Going to go ahead and end that poll. Thank you. So 69% yes. Thanks for participating. Let's talk about your grown children. Oh, sucky now. Four options for this next poll. Do you have grown kids in your home? So hypothetically, if something happened to your grown child, they lost their job, got sick, got on drugs, earthquake, tsunami, would you allow or not allow? So even if you don't have grown kids in your house right now, let's say down the road, something happens to the children, they need to have a place to live. Would you allow or would not allow? So it's a 4-option question. Poll. Thank you for joining me. Hello, sweetheart. Sky Maiden, thank you. Let's see how you all voted. 35% of you have grown kids in your house right now. 46% said no. Would never allow. 0% would allow. 19%. So most of you are saying down the road, if they needed a place, it wouldn't be an issue that you would not allow your child to stay with you. 0%. 26 votes out of 44 viewing. Thank you for your time. Welcome to the Vault Excel. JJ, we're talking about humans. Cut it out. I don't know why y'all don't like following instructions. Jesus. Your 3 kids have never moved out. Oh, Lord. Well, let's ask that question then. Next question. Since because you really got me befuddled right now, honey. This is the one I wanted to ask anyway. How old are they? (19, 20, 24). Good Lord, girl. 38 and 33. Whew. Make my wig want to fly off my head. Good Lord. $26 votes. 2 more thumbs up. Hypothetical situations. Some apply, some do not. Take the poll. Feel free to comment. Take the polls also on my community page. You have to go back to the beginning of this live stream to get the multi faceted questions asked by the Queen. All questions are posted to the community page before I did this second round of questions. Thank you for joining me. Let's see what you all have to say. 26 votes. Should grown kids live at home? 36% yes. 61% of you said no. How about that? Out of 23 votes. So most of you don't think kids should live at home. Okay. Anybody else want to take this poll before I take it down? Well, we'll ask that question too. Next poll. Four options. Juniper. God, y'all are killing me. Take the poll. Would you take in your grandkids? Four options. These will go up on the community page at a later date. It's at the top. 28 votes. 89% of you would take in the grandkids. 0% said no. Temporarily, 10%, not sure, 3%. Thank you. Thank you all for taking the polls. 30 votes, 16 people not voting. Take the poll before I close it out. Thank you. Well, hippie, you got 3 kids living with you right now. Do they also have other children? Because can you imagine they start having children? You let all those kids live with you. Can you afford grown children, yourself and whoever else, and grandkids in your house? Just asking. Because things are expensive now. Water, gas, light, electricity, food, toiletries. Just saying. Thank you, Larissa, if you're listening. If anybody wants to call the Queen on IG while I'm live to discuss these questions from the community page to what is being discussed during this live stream, the new set of questions, feel free to call me and we can chop up these questions. If you would like me to ask you some of these personal questions on the live stream, if you feel comfortable enough to answer or decline, your choice. Oh, they don't have any children. Thank God. Lord have mercy. All right, we're going to end this poll. 87% of you would take in the grandkids. Temporarily, 10%. No, 0%. And not sure, 3%. Thank you. All right. I think that's all I have for my list. Okay. Anybody want to call the Queen to discuss any of this information? Feel free. Oh, trivia. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. We can always change it up. Nobody's messaged me, so. Well, that's all I have for today. Those polls, let me see. I think I had some Kansas City polls that I did not discuss. I'll go ahead and discuss those too, and then I'll check out of here. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to donate to the great network, $McGangie, 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are welcome to the live stream. Thank you all so much for the support. Welcome new members, new subs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're getting ready to go back. We're gonna go back to the Kansas City, and then I'm gonna briefly mention these ladies on the Bahama trip, and then I'm gonna check out of here. Please check my polls also for the movie of the week. So I gotta find what I recommended. Lord have mercy. I got so many questions on here. You want to take the polls on my community board? Feel free. There are a lot of them. They were mentioned during this live stream in case you needed verification. Next live, I think we're going to talk about squatting. So I think it's a new case just happened out of Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to talk about that next live stream. Coming home to find somebody living in your house and you can't get them out because of the laws. Please check out my current older uploads pertaining to Camille McKinney cupcakes, a little girl that went missing in Alabama. I had a lot of videos I made, and they were extensive. One almost netting a 90,000 views. So please go back to those videos and check out the content. We also got information that the Happy Face Killer has spoken with the Gilgo Beach suspect, and he's telling him he needs to confess. That's the latest information. And Derica Brown, one of the women, one of the suspects pertaining to Cupcake's case, she unalived her with a male, Patrick Starworth. She has to take a mental evaluation to see if she's fit to receive the death penalty. Thank you for joining me. Just bringing you all updates. And also, something I didn't mention, there was a case in Georgia coming up 3 years ago. Mr. Gene Siller, he was a pro golfer, and he was unalived at a country club. He was shot. And 2 other people were also found tied up and shot to death in the bed of a pickup truck. That man accused of those murders has learned his prison sentence. 11 Alive has that source, and it's also posted to my community board in case you are curious. Thank you so much. Now I can't find my commentary. Okay, thank you, sweetheart. Cat keeps. No squatting around my property. Yeah, and I also want to talk about the migration. There's a guy who has property bordering the border, and he can't stop the people from coming through that, the gate. It has a little space between the gate and a rock where people have been coming in, and he shot his gun off, and the police was called on him. I don't think that was right. But we know by law, you're not supposed to shoot any weapons outside of your property. That's the law in most states. Trying to find these questions for the Kansas City 3 because I want to get them out of the way too. Hold on one second, everybody. Ooh, I didn't know I had so many. Lord have mercy. Is Derek Brown mentally unfit to receive death penalty in Camille Cupcake's murder? 2% yes, 85% no, 13% not sure. Movie of the week, My Killer Client. Now playing on LMN and free in the YouTube queue. 1 hour and 27 minutes. And Nancy Grace has uploaded content pertaining to the Kansas City 3 men. Will there be an arrest? We will see. And this is Black History Month. 2 little girls found dead along I-95. This is the content in Miami where the woman killed herself and her 2 children. Very terrible. Prayers for our friends in California with the major floods and mudslides. And also we have a lot of nonsense going on with the migration and busing of immigrants. Also, I have When Evil Lurks. Free YouTube, 1 hour, 39 minutes. And as most of you know, Summer's birthday was just a couple of days ago. Please check out the full documentary pertaining to Gilgo Beach. I also have that posted. Say what? I lose my ever-loving mind. Oh, I see you all still. Just bringing you all the updates pertaining to my community page, in case you don't go over there and watch. Last week's content of a movie, The Jogger, 2 versions. The original, about 30 minutes long, 29 minutes, and then the remake, very good. Mother left a 3-year-old to freeze to death in a house. He had frostbite, may need amputation. Very scary. Oh, Lord. I can't get back to those polls. It keeps looping me out when I open up the... Sorry about that. You can't go into these articles because they loop you out and take you all the way back to the top of the community page. I'll be here forever trying to get those polls. That's how much stuff I posted that it takes so long to find the information. YouTube had to send a notification. Ma'am, you're posting too much. But I wanted to put up enough questions so I could try to fill up, some of the time on this live stream. Sorry about that. One second, everybody. Sorry it's taking so long. Trying to see what I got here 7 days ago. 7 days ago, did the judge make the right decision to grant Murdaugh a new trial? 86% yes, 9% no, 5% not sure. Will Gail Lewis's husband marry mistress? 21% yes, 38% no, 21% not sure, 21% they won't last dating or married. Does Gail Lewis regret marrying her husband? 55% yes, 9% not, 36% not sure. Should Gail Lewis have stopped seeing her husband before they married when he told her he lied about not filing for divorce from his first wife? 93% no, 0%, 93% yes, 0% no, 7% not sure. Is it wrong to date a married man if he has filed for divorce? Yes, 35%, 51% no, 14% maybe. All right. With new info of fiance seeing David deceased on the porch from inside of the house, do you now think that Jordan is lying about not seeing friends outside? 37, 50, oh Lord, 87% yes, he's lying. 7% no, 7% not sure. If Alex saw drugs used, was it the deceased friends and were all regular user? 23% yes, 8% no, some, 19%, all, 0%, not sure, 50%. Did Alex see friends overdose, pass away that night, but he left? 10% says he saw it, left the home. 40% says he did not see anything. 10% of you said he saw it, helped cover it up, and 40% of you are not sure. It has been said that Alex Lee texted friends that people use drugs at the party. Is he telling the truth or trying to deflect his role that night? 47% told the truth. He told the truth. 23% deflecting. He used the drugs as well. He didn't use 0%. Very interesting. 0 votes that he didn't use. 30% of you not sure. Did Jordan Willis tell his attorney what happened January 7th or part of the truth? 4% said he told the truth. 74% partial. 4% he didn't tell the lawyer anything. Nothing. 70% of you not sure. With the new info about Jordan going to rehab, did the deceased friends use drugs that night? Yes, 82%. 3% no. 15% not sure. And that's when we have information that the guys had drugs in their system. Cocaine, fentanyl, and marijuana. With the new info by Ricky's parents in the interview, do you believe Jordan's dogs were home or taken to the dad's at some point or never left? Were there but taken to dad's home at some point? 71%. They were there the whole time? 4%. Never there? 25%. Then I asked you, did the fiance see David from indoors through the glass door or window? 68% of you voted yes, 7% no, 25% not sure. That's contradictory information because somebody said she saw from upstairs. So I don't know what's the truth. It's a very strange storyline. Did Jordan Willis go to rehab for sympathy? The fact his friends died from an overdose or possibility liability. He went for sympathy, 3%. Truth revealed of overdose, 6%. Liability, 13%. All of the above, 65%. Not sure, 13%. Going to go back to the Gail Lewis story, the woman who found her husband in the airport in Atlanta with another woman. It went viral about her husband cheating and the mistress. Did she get karma because she was once his mistress when he was married? 86% of you said yes. 14% of you said no. All right. That's my latest, the past 7 days of information. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, Ann B. I appreciate that. I always like to give my fans and viewers something to think about. So this is why I always ask questions, why I always put up polls, because it's something different than just talking about a crime or a situation scenario. I want people to think. This is why I always tell you to think before you speak, because sometimes you'll say something when you're answering your own question. So I always say, tell me why. Tell me why you think that. Why did you say that? Why did you put that comment there? Because a lot of times people don't really focus on what they're saying. They just, blurt out stuff, but they're not thinking. So in a story, especially when you're dealing with true crime, I always want you to think about what you're saying. Is it plausible? Because we know anything's plausible. But I want you to think, and that's what the polls are about, to get other people's opinion. Many people watch YouTube. So those polls are open to anybody, whether they watch my network or not. And I like to get a feel of how people think. That's why I put them up there, especially when you're talking about true crime. Then 2, you can comment. And sometimes I'm shocked at some of the comments and the polls, the percentages, because a lot of people do aid foolishness, corruption, theft, thievery, assault. And when they comment or take the polls, you're sitting here looking at the numbers. You're like, oh, my God, even if it's just 6%, 4%, that's still somebody's perception. So that's why I put the polls up, so you can get an idea of how people think and navigate. That is why I put it up there. I don't have much more to say for this live stream, but I appreciate you all tuning in this evening, taking the polls, participating, giving your commentary during the chat. Always feel free to go over to the polls that are already posted. Take those polls. Be heard. Comment if you want to comment. You don't have to. It's anonymous. If you take the vote, it's no big deal. Same with being in the chat. So, of course, naturally in the chat, you can get a better idea. If the majority of the people vote, you're sitting here looking, thinking, okay, who voted this? Who voted this? So it's understandable. No, Beverly, I'm not. No. No teacher, no lawyer. I've just worked, being, healthcare is what I've done, working with people, elderly, disabled, mentally disabled adults, children. I've worked with disabled men in halfway houses. That's the kind of work I've done. And now, ta-da, YouTube. So I have to be careful now because YouTube is just cracking down on every little comment, video. You can't post anything. So I'm to the point where it's like, well, I'm not going to keep talking about true crime and all that because it's like you can't say anything. You know, you got to worry about being accused of doing this and this. Now you don't want us to, you can't even play Facebook videos. It's like, well, what is the point? I mean, I'm just like, well, what am I supposed to do up here? Just because you get criticized no matter what you say and don't say. And now I got YouTube down your throat about what you can say and can't say. And it's like, what is, I can do better things with my time. As I was telling this guy yesterday, I love my free time. I love to do what I want, go where I want. I'm not obligated to anybody. So all this time I spend doing this YouTube and all this criticism from people and then YouTube, it's like, what's the point when I could just be doing me, enjoying my time? But I'm here for the meanwhile. So I try to bring you stimulating content and commentary. Hope I've done that. Oh, well, I appreciate that. Thank you, Hippie. Oh, yes. Analytical mind. Yes. Thank you. I do. I'm what's the word? As a classmate said to me, you are a critical thinker. I think that's what he said. You're a critical thinker. Yeah, I analyze a lot. It can be to your detriment, of course, now. Your mind's always in rotation. It can be dangerous because it's like OCD mixed in and you're thinking about this, you're thinking about that. You wake up thinking about stuff and you're thinking, why am I even thinking about this? This just makes no sense. Why am I talking to myself about this stupid situation? But hey, there's nothing wrong with talking to yourself so long as you don't answer. You're good. Right, Angela? Okay, she didn't answer. She better not answer. We in trouble. Oh my God. Oh, yes, Anby. Well, that's the reason why I was trying to explain this to people. When I first came to YouTube, when I wasn't even a partner, I didn't want to talk about true crime. I would just bring a situation, something I heard, something I saw. Everything you hear in the news is not always about crime. It's just us, what we do, how we act, what we say, how we respond. I like those situations really that have already been resolved. And then I bring you the information. We sit and chop it up, but it's over with. It's gone to court. It has a resolution. I don't have to do all this background work and checking and finding 50,000 articles on stuff. I really want to talk about stuff that's already been put to bed. Makes my job easier. Because with the true crime, it's too much searching. And then, you know, people are critical. Oh, you didn't hear what he said, and he said this over here. Kind of like with the women in the Bahamas. Each article has something different that another article don't have. You wouldn't know that until you go in and start reading all the articles. That's time consuming. Let me tell you what she said over here. Let me tell you what she said over here. Just like with the Kansas City 3, same thing. Each person is going to a different person saying stuff. Now you've got to go try to find all that stuff and put it together because somebody's going to come in the chat and say, well, they said this on CNN and he said this on Fox. So you're like, oh God, here we go. It's too much work. That's all I'm going to say. It's too much damn work for me. Well, honey, my mind is getting slower. That's why I want to stop the true crime stuff. It's daunting to me. I've had just about enough. But I must say, I've got a lot of views for the Ali Mulani video yesterday, more than I usually get. So I appreciate it. I think all those people came in when I was doing the crazy lady from Facebook. That got a lot of viewers from yesterday and people subscribed. So I appreciate that. But once again, this is not a true crime network. This is a network about hypothetical situations, breaking news, hypothetical, whatever. Situations that we all encounter on a daily basis. Oh, did she? Sweetie Pie Low? Yeah, I like her. Yes. Yeah. Yes, I like Sweetie Pie. I've been trying to invite her to come up, to speak on, Summer Wells or any other subject. So I'm just waiting for her to reach out to me on IG. I've left my information, on her channel. So it'd be nice if she wanted, chop it up with the queen and talk about whatever. It doesn't even have to be about true crime. I really like hypothetical situations because we're all human. We've all experienced different things, been hurt, traumatized, been in trouble, legal troubles, kid problems, men problems. Those are the things I like talking about. I've probably got some live streams that would literally make your hair stand straight up on your head where people came up on the panel and they started giving their opinions about their children, their lives with men. And you were like, damn, they're saying that on a live stream because it's more genuine. It's more genuine when you have actual people commenting, showing themselves, telling you about their lives, their experiences. It's more engaging than me just reading, stuff off of articles and playing stuff from the TV or whatever. I like the real interaction with people. Just like when Dr. Phil had the shows, Oprah had the Oprah Winfrey Show. That's more engaging. You have an audience. You have this person sitting here spinning their story. You either believe it or you don't. Near the end of the show, the hostess lets the audience ask the person questions. Well, why did you do that? Why did you stay in an abusive relationship? Why have you married 5, 6 times? Da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to have a whole human that can interact and you can ask them stuff. There are lots of topics I want to discuss, but I don't have anybody to come on because people act like they're scared to talk. It's the weirdest thing. But I realize people pick and choose who they want to give their rendering to. So I really need to go be out in the street networking with strangers. And we've tried that before. And that's been an issue as well. So, it's a lot to deal with. Yeah. Well, a lot of people came because of summer. Yeah. That's the norm. That is the norm. Hold on one second. Let me see what I got here. Trying to see if anybody's tried to reach. But we're going to talk about the border some more in the upcoming days. How you feel about the border, the wall? Do we need the wall? Busing migrants. I hear they're now coming to Tennessee, Middle Tennessee. So that means eventually they'll probably come into East Tennessee. How do you feel about the wall? Okay. Now, I don't really want to get talking political, but we have a problem. America has problems. We have a lot going on. You couldn't do what? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of mental issues. And a lot of people commenting, they have mental problems as well. If you haven't noticed, they got mental issues too. So it's like, yeah, because the wall has too many points where people can get into the country. So that's, it's just not working because the wall should have been up years ago, not 20 years ago, not 30, a long time, maybe even before I was born. I'm 53. So maybe the wall should have been up in 1960. I don't know. But this giving them asylum, this one asylum, then this one goes back home. That's still money. Feeding, clothing, shipping back, flying back, that's money. And the Chinese, my understanding from the piece I've posted to my community board, China don't want them back. So once they make it over here, they're stuck here to fend for themselves and make a way. China don't want them back. And why would they? You've left our great country. That's their perception. You've left our great country and you've now gone to America? Hell no, we're not letting you come back in. And why would you want to go back in? Oh, thank you, sweetie. Why would you want to go back there? Hell no, you don't want to get sent back to China. That's the whole purpose of spending all your money, fly around the world, get to the Mexican border, pay smugglers. Please watch that last video I posted because that's information you will want to watch. We have more Asian people coming here. And the first thing I said when I saw the video, how are they getting here? We're surrounded by water. They flew, made it to Mexico, paid a smuggler. YouTube has videos on how to do it if you did not know that. That's why you need to watch the video so you can see how they are getting here. Okay, Hagen, you up? Hagen's up, everybody. One second, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate the love. Gotta find something juicy for us to talk about next time. Hey. Hello?
There.
Are you busy?
No. We're making some coffee.
Oh, great. I put up a lot of questions on the polls for late this morning. I was up to about 6 a.m. putting up polls, because that's how long it took to type all that mess out. Did you take any of the polls, dear?
Yeah. I seen most of them this evening and took some of them while I was trying to make dinner. I've been listening to you live the whole time.
Okay. So what do you have to say about some of the polls? Are there any of them that you would like to comment on? Because there are a lot of juicy ones, and some are very personal about kids, same sex. Would you tell on your friend? Okay, so I'll ask you. I'll just throw some out. You found out your friend spouse has been cheating. Do you tell her or no?
It all depends.
Why? Depends on what?
Because here's the thing. I've dealt with issues with family, like, okay, I don't know if I can explain this. They don't, even though you tell them, they don't see it. They have to see it for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe they have seen it and they just don't care, or they don't want to leave. Is that where you're going, or no?
I have come to find out that if I open my mouth, there's a lot of, fight over it, or, they begin to hate, and I'm like, okay. You back away, and you're like, okay.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you have a person?
See it for themselves.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Have you currently told somebody about somebody cheating on them, and you two are not speaking or engaging right now?
Yes.
How long ago did you confront the person? With the info.
It was quite a long time ago. My one brother was dating this girl, and he married her. Mm-hmm. And then, I have two brothers, but my one brother dated the girl. Then my other brother married the girl. Then the first brother had to go stay with the second brother and his wife. And
the girl that he had dated before?
I found out that...
Wait, slow down. Hagen, slow down. The brother that went to stay with the brother, did he go stay with him and he had already dated that woman? Is that what you're saying?
Okay, my brother Frank used to date my sister-in-law Sandra. My brother Carl married Sandra. My brother Frank had to go stay with them.
And he's already been with her, right?
Yes. And then my brother Frank, once I told my brother Carl that my brother Frank was sleeping with his wife, got kicked out of my brother Carl's house. But I don't speak to any of them right now.
So wait.
More problems.
Wait. When the brother invited the brother, did he know that they had been together already?
Yes.
Well, then why would he do that?
I guess there's no bro code between them. Frank had dated Sandra, and Carl married her.
How long did the first brother date her?
Huh?
How long did the first brother date the woman before the other brother married her?
It was about 6 months.
That ain't no good.
Apparently, like I said, they don't have a bro code.
Well, men are like that. Men don't mind swapping partners, women partners. We see this a lot. They can do it. And I'm going to tell you something. This is something I've noticed, and I don't want anybody to get offended, but I see a lot of this in the white culture. I do. The swapping of mates. Most black folks just can't do it. I'm just going to tell you.
Well, my stepfather did that. After my mom died, he went and got with my mother's best friend. Which we still make fun of her kids, because now we're like, do you call him uncle or do you call him daddy?
I can't with you, Hagen. So you're not speaking to either brother?
No, because there was some other things that...
Okay. Ooh, Jesus. Well, damn.
Jesus don't have time to weep right now.
He weeping sometimes. Golly. Like, what is wrong with my children? What's wrong with them, Jesus? Satan, leave my kids alone. I just can't do it. I can't right now. I can't see wanting anybody that my sister has been with. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to sleep with them. I don't want nothing from them.
Exactly. That's why I'm like,
that's what I don't get.
Apparently people don't do the bro or hoe code. Like, if you've been with any of my family, don't come to me.
Somebody in the chat says, my sister's husband has a child with my brother's wife while my brother was overseas, and I'm estranged because I was not down with that. Oh, man. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, people are just ratchet anymore. Well, they might have been ratchet
because it's
before,
one thing to be trying to talk to a person and you know they've dated a person, or they are still together and you still making passes at them. Because I think I put that up on the questionnaire about making a pass. That is one of the questions on the community page about making a pass. Do you tell, don't tell if the person made a pass at you? Did you ever try to make a pass at a person? I worded every which way, and we know it goes on.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, well, we know it goes on, but, like, if someone would make a pass at me, I'd be like, excuse me, hold up, where's your significant other?
Yeah, but it would be bad if it was your husband's friend or brother. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about a random person. We're talking about family or a friend.
Well, my family's ratchet anyway. So.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Well...
That's why the closest family member I have is an hour and a half away. They can't just show up on my door.
Okay, so let me say, right now, if your friend's husband made a pass at you, would you tell the friend?
Yes.
Okay. And what if she didn't believe you?
No, that's for her. That's up to her.
What if she goes back and tells
myself and go on about my business?
Okay, so now she goes and tells the husband what you said, because usually people do that. Well, she'd have to tell it because you're making an accusation. So it's going to be out anyway, unless she don't want to confront him. Wow. Grown children living in your house, yes or no?
No.
Do you have some there now?
I have one. She is 17. I have 2 homes on the property. As soon as she turns 18 and gets her mess together, she's moving across the driveway to the other house.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Thank you, V. Dockery. Thank you for the cash app, sweetheart. Thank you. Okay, so are you going to be paying water bills and light bills at that other house?
No.
Okay.
No, because she's already been instructed to get herself together, because as soon as she turns 18 and finishes high school, she's not on her own, but she's got to fend for herself.
Okay. Wow. If she had children right now, would you help take care of them in your house?
Yes.
Okay, so ask yourself, why would you take care of the children, but you wouldn't help her? Help me understand now.
Babies, when they're little, like, they don't have any say-so in who their parents are or what goes on.
Okay, and how long would you do that?
Temporarily, and tell her to get herself together, or...
Because that's one of the questions in this live stream. If you want to take that poll later, it's in the or comment. Okay, so I asked a few questions in this live stream because there were so many questions from the polls. Do you have any sibling rivalry at this moment?
No.
In the past, when you were children?
Yes.
Did your parents ever favor your other siblings over you, or they favored them over you, or you?
They favored my 2 brothers.
Okay, so how many children grew up in your house?
Technically 4.
Okay, so it's kind of a personal question. I really want to ask you nothing too personal, but okay, if you want to go ahead and answer.
We're all half brothers and sisters.
Okay. Do you like your siblings, Hagen?
Like them, no.
Do you love them?
Yes.
Okay. Would you date an older man?
Possibly. I don't know how much older you're talking about.
Well, let's say 20 years.
Okay.
You would?
Yeah.
Would you date a younger man?
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay, so I've asked you everything about dating an older person. Wait, I'm not going to ask you the same sex. We're going to leave that question off. But you did talk about siblings. We asked about, do you like your siblings? Do you like your siblings or love them? Did I ask you that?
I love them. I don't care for them right now because of what's going on. But.
Okay. So let me ask you something. You wake up one morning and see blood on your car. You hear that someone was hit in a hit and run, passed away in an area where you were the night before. Do you turn yourself in?
Yes.
Okay. Because I had a lot of options on that.
I have a conscience. I can't do anything like that. That's like when people are like, I don't care to shoot someone. I'm like, I do care because you have a conscience. You're the one that's got to live with that.
Well, you find out your husband has slept with your child, sister, mother, friend, relative. What do you do? Do you leave? Do you stay? Okay. You kick him out?
Kick him out.
Okay. Do you seek revenge?
Not if they leave me alone.
Explain that, Hagen.
Well, I mean, if they're going to sit there and pester me, then there's going to be a problem.
So pester. So what do you mean by pester? They want to get back. They want you to let them back in the house.
Yeah, or they keep giving, phone calls or text messages. Well, can I get this? Can I get that out of the house? Blah. No, you know what? Go.
So you ain't going to set the stuff outside?
Get in your vehicle and get up out of my way.
Are you going to give them time to get the stuff out the house, Hagen? Are you going to give them time to put the stuff out the house?
Oh, it'll already be packed.
Okay. Do you have you participated in corporal punishment or abusive to your children?
No.
So have you ever whipped your child?
Yes, I have whooped her twice.
Okay. Did it work? Did it work?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
She has actually come to me and she has said, Mama, you know what? Them 2 whoopings that you gave me when I was younger, they worked.
The issues you have with your parents pertaining to these brothers and everything, I don't know. What is your relationship like with the parents pertaining to the brother issues and all that? Do you get along with your parents right now?
Well, my mom passed away in 2006.
Okay.
My father passed away when I was 12.
Oh, I see. Okay.
My stepfather, I don't get along with.
Okay. Have you talked to him? Have you tried talking to him about your issues?
Well, basically, before everyone passed away or things happened, when I turned 18, I went to them and my grandmother and I said, thank you. And they said, what? For what? And I said, for showing me how not to raise children and not to live
my life. You did confront them. Okay. And what did they say?
My mother used a few choice words and told me to get out of her sight.
Wow. So you all...
My stepfather won't talk to me and my grandmother kicked me out of her house.
So your grandmother is your mother's mother?
Yes.
So... if you can elaborate, if it's too personal, that's fine. What was the issue with you, the mother, grandmother, and the stepfather?
My grandmother and my great-grandmother raised me until I was 12.
Okay.
And then my mother took me back to watch her 2 sons.
Yeah.
My half-brothers.
And I've told people that a lot of people here in the South and probably other places have not been raised by their parents. What is the reason that your mother didn't raise you, if you can tell me?
She wasn't, I don't think she was, no one would ever tell me, but I guess she wasn't ready to be a parent or she was a party person or...
But she had kids after you, though. She had other children, is what I'm saying.
Well, she had other children later.
That's what I'm saying.
I was 12 years old.
Okay.
And then my half-brothers, they're like 10 years younger than me.
But she raised them, right? But she raised them.
Yes.
See, that's where I have the problem. What's the difference between, okay, you couldn't raise these kids, then you later go on and have more children, and then you keep those kids, but then you don't involve yourself with the other child that you didn't raise. I always wonder why is that.
I don't know because I could never get a straight answer about that.
I understand.
See, growing up, I thought my mom was my sister, my uncle was my brother, my grandmother was my mom, and my great grandma was my granny.
Well, who told you that? Who told you that she wasn't your mother?
My grandmother.
Damn. So they was building your relationship on lies.
And went to go stay with my mom. That's when everything came out that these people were these people, and I just had to live it and be okay with it.
That's terrible. So what age you were when you realized your mother was not your sister?
12 years old.
That's
when
terrible.
I was put back in her household to watch her 2 sons.
And then you didn't get along when you went back?
No, I didn't get along. And then my mom passed me around.
From place to place? Okay. Sorry to hear that.
The family member.
Yeah, I hate to hear that. But she still kept the other boys, right?
Yes.
Do you think she didn't get along with you because you remind her of the man who was your father? Could that have been it?
It could have been. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I hate to hear that because many of us have stories similar to that. And that's a terrible thing to be ostracized and lied to. And like we say, kids don't ask to be here, and we don't choose our parents. We don't choose our grandparents. We don't choose these people that bring us here. For whatever reason, they've got these problems. Like I was listening to somebody say the other day, I don't really care what the mom and daddy had going on. It didn't concern me. So why are you looping me into your personal grown folks? But that was Nene Leakes said that off the Real Housewives of Atlanta. What do I have to do with whatever y'all went through? And that's true. Why are you blaming your kids for stuff that you have done? And I'll tell you something that I think is crazy. And I might bring this up in another live stream too. Lying to your kids about who the father is. Excuse me. Why do that? Who wants to find out who their real father is at 40-something years of age? That's cruel. Not to tell your kid who their father is. Hello?
Well, my daughter knows who her father is.
Mm-hmm.
She knows when he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
I never spoke badly about him in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
And the last conversation she had with her father's mother was not good. I mean, she called her dad a deadbeat and told her grandma she was a deadbeat and to just leave her be.
Okay. Let me ask you this question. A woman, or it could be a man, is supposed to pay child support, but they can't for whatever reason. Should a judge remand that their spouse, no matter what their income is or even a higher income, say, well, you got to pay the child support since your husband, wife can't? Would you agree that the judge should render that the spouse pay the child support, even though these children are not theirs?
It all depends on how you look at it, but personally, I'd say no.
Okay.
But, if a lot of times, anytime you look at anything with like a bank or anything, they're looking at everyone's income in the house.
Mm-hmm. But by law, a person is not obligated to pay because that's not their child. And my thing is, how would they pay if I wasn't there and I wasn't in a relationship with them? You understand what I'm saying? When you bank on principle, they had these kids. It's their responsibility. Whether they get with me, Pookie, Ray Ray, or whomever, why should I have to pay for somebody else's child? That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It depends on how you look at it, but personally, I say no. But if you look at it in the other direction, it's the other folks aren't doing without, so why not? If you're married and living in the same household and using your spouse's income to take care of the household you're living in, why don't you use the spouse's money to pay the child support?
Well, but I'm saying right now, if you met somebody and they had kids, would you want to have your income go out as child support for kids that are not yours? That's what I'm saying.
Well, not necessarily, but if the kids needed things, I mean...
Okay. Well, we know kids need things, Hagen, but I'm just saying being remanded means it's mandatory. You got to pay the child support every month, even if you couldn't afford it. Because, a lot of people are paying child support. You really can't afford to pay it, but it's what the judge has rendered.
Yeah.
So imagine you couldn't pay the child support. Let's say you had to pay $1,600 a month for one child.
No,
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Because the realest principle, whether it's $200, $1,600.
Yeah.
Now imagine you can't pay it, because most judges, I think, don't ask the parents to pay. I remember that was an issue with Whitney Houston years ago with Bobby Brown. He had a lot of kids, and Whitney Houston told, I'm not paying for any of his children. Those are his children. He had those kids before he met me. Mm-hmm. And that would be cruel for a judge to say, oh, well, your wife's a millionaire, a famous person. She should pay for the kids. That wouldn't be right.
No.
Okay. I'm just thinking some questions.
I've seen my grandmother pay my uncle's child support to keep him from
going to jail. Yeah. How do you feel about that? People paying other people's child support so they can stay out of jail. Because I had somebody ask me that once a few years ago, and I thought, why are you sending a message for me to pay your child support? Those are your children. They're not my kids.
Well, in the instance of my grandmother, it made me angry, and I fought with her over it because she would pay his child support and not have the money to get her medication.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. What do you look like paying for somebody's child support and you can't make it yourself? Because in the end, it's not your responsibility to pay your brother, sister, cousin's child support, your mate's child support. They had those kids before you met them, or you don't have anything to do with it. Because where does it stop when it comes to paying the child support? Up, now it's a birthday. Up, now it's Christmas. Up, somebody needs cleats. Somebody needs ballet lessons. Somebody's got to pay the sports fee. You see where I'm going? It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
They need new shoes. They need new clothes.
That's how our family is, though. I mean, I don't understand it, never have. But a lot of the older people in our family are willing to take the brunt of what other people do.
And go broke.
Yeah. Now, I don't have a problem sending my nieces, my nephews, if they need diapers or if the kids need shoes or, things like that. But I never send money.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to get off the family stuff. Polygamy. Could you be in a polygamous marriage?
No.
Relationship?
No.
Okay. You couldn't live in a house with other sister wives?
No. I've watched the Cody Brown thing. No.
Okay. What about a swinger? Could you swing, Hagen?
No.
Okay. What if your husband asked you, hey, I want another partner?
He can leave and do that.
To join us. Okay. Sorry, it's personal. I'm trying to think of stuff off my head that I asked before. Somebody said you have such a kind heart.
He is the crowd.
Yeah. Because this is what I tell people about that swinging stuff. Eventually, you are going to be uninvited. You are going to be uninvited to the party, okay? Your husband or wife is going to be seeing them without you.
Yeah.
STD. You get an STD from a man, husband, date, whomever. Do you confront him?
Yes,
or should a woman confront him? Because you don't have to speak personally for yourself. Should a woman confront the man that she's caught a venereal disease?
Yes.
Would you prosecute if, let's say, it was herpes or HIV, AIDS?
I don't even know if that's possible, but...
Yes, you can sue.
No, for medical costs?
Because women, no, you're suing for everything. You're suing because I can't get rid of this disease.
Yeah.
You know, it's a crime in certain states to give a person HIV, such as New York. That's why R. Kelly has those charges against him for giving that girl herpes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes, we've talked about this before. So let me ask you, would you prosecute if you got HIV?
Yes.
Herpes?
Yes.
What's the other one? I can't think. The one that's hepatitis A and B. Hepatitis C. They've got more technology now to decrease the symptoms of both hepatitis, I think C, and HIV/AIDS. We have better drugs now, but it's still costly, such as those women in the Bahamas. Have you heard the latest story pertaining to the two friends who said they were sexually assaulted?
Yes, I've seen that.
What do you believe is the truth about the story? Do you believe there are allegations against the two men?
I believe that something went on.
Okay.
It's just not, they haven't quite made it clear, like, were the guys wearing hotel uniforms?
Exactly. That's what I'm curious too, yes. You didn't watch them. You didn't watch them walk around giving drinks, serving drinks. Why are they in your face when you come out the water? Wouldn't they have a job to do? That's where I would be suspicious. See, why are you now in my face and I just got out of the water with the drinks and I'm feeling sluggish?
Yeah, and then the seashell thing and all that, and like they were vague about some of the details,
yes.
So I don't know.
And that's what people were saying in the Cuomo video with News Nation. Hey, there's something missing. We're not getting the whole story. Where is the whole story? And that's what people want to hear from A to Z or A to E. Give us something, because this is not it. Just drinks, water, sluggish, look for seashells, wake up in a bathroom. That's very vague.
But here's the thing. We don't know exactly what the law enforcement has.
Well, they have video. We do know they have video, and 2 people have been arrested.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by what they have, law enforcement?
Well, what I'm saying is the victims might have given more detail to the law enforcement, or there might be more, but we don't know because...
Okay. Well, they're alluding to the fact like they don't remember what happened from asking about the seashells. They just remember waking up in the bathroom. One of them did anyway, so I don't really know.
Yeah, but like the story, I'm not saying something didn't happen, but what I'm saying is it was just, there's too many holes. Like, how did you get to the bathroom from the beach?
Because you would have to be seen. There's no way I'm going to believe nobody saw these people leave the water to the restroom, because the restroom will be in the resort. You understand what I'm saying? Not a porta potty. So somebody would have to have seen you go into the resort, either from a side entrance or a front entrance. I don't see how that would be hidden, and then it's broad daylight. No.
And
Too many eyes.
You know that the resort has to have cameras all over other than inside.
Well, and that's what they said. They got view of the men, a view of the women, view of the men, view of the women looking sluggish after taking the drinks. So this is what I'm trying to understand. Where exactly did they get the drinks? Outside at the beach area, near a bar, a table, standing 2 feet from a table. See what I'm saying? There's no real information to where you actually were handed the drinks.
And then those drinks had to take time to make somewhere, because it looks like they were one was in a pineapple.
2 of them,
looked like it was a coconut. So they had to take the time to make them. Where would they have made them?
And then who's going to walk around with these drinks in their hand in their uniform? That would be strange to me. Especially if you're not somebody who's supposed to be serving drinks. That's why I said all of that is so suspect to me.
Yeah.
You're walking around with drinks, and let's just say you're the janitor. Wouldn't somebody be saying, hey, buddy, you're on the clock. What are you doing with that drink? See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, my question is, do they have the right people? Because those 2 men seem, the ones that they said the ages, seem a little old to be doing stuff like that. 54,
50-something, and 40. Yeah. Mud Pie says they spent all their money and figured they better come up with a good story. Laughing emoji. Hello, Dawn. Thank you.
Oh, Lord.
That's bad, ain't it?
Yeah, I think something happened, and I think it was not consensual. But we don't know what happened that led up to that.
Okay, not consensual. Okay, interesting.
The only reason I say possibly non-consensual is because of the bruising and the way that one woman just sat there and sobbed.
Okay. Mud Pie, stop. They were drinking. They had drinks. But then one article I read said there was no alcohol in their system. So that didn't make sense, because you see them drinking. Unless they're trying to say it wasn't enough to register. But then they gave us the numbers. One blew 000 and the other one blew 0.6. Allegedly.
But they also said that they had drugs in their system. So.
Oh, yeah. But I'm just saying, even if I drank something, that still should show in my body that I drank something. It may not be a legal capacity, but it still should show, oh, yeah, she had alcohol in her system. Wow.
Well, all they had to do was take a blood test.
Well, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. They've done all that. That's what I'm saying. They've given the numbers of the blood alcohol content. But another article I read said there was no alcohol in the finding. So I'm confused.
Yeah.
And what they mean by none. Drugs, but no alcohol. you can't have no alcohol in your system
you know
if you
news
drink.
articles are. You can go to one and it says something, and go to another,
and that's what I tell the fans. That's why I don't like bickering about what an article says, because each article I read yesterday had something different than what the other one said.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I'm bad about, if I don't find what I'm looking for, I will go news article to news article until I can figure out what.
Well, that's what Chris Thorns taught the Queen. He said it's best to go look up different articles, news videos before you go live, because each one will have something different than the other one. And I've noticed that in talking about true crime, people will always come in the chat and say, well, did you hear this? Did you hear this? Such and such said this. And it may not be the information I got from, like I said, CNN or ABC7, because people talk to different entities and people pass information along from source to source in the news game. So what I told CNN may not be verbatim what I told the Daily Mail.
Yes.
And that's what you're getting, is piece for piece for piece. Each article I read had something different that wasn't said over here at this news source. It's very interesting.
Yeah, that's why I like how you say it's this news source if you want to go look it up. That really bugs me that other creators don't do that.
Well, because they like to argue. Everybody likes to argue about what they heard. Just like some of the stuff with the Kansas City 3. When somebody come in and say, oh, this one said it was drugs, and this one looked out the window, and this one left the wallet in there. Well, if I haven't read that the wallets were found inside, I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
I can say word is going around that wallet keys were inside. But until I read it, I hear a report that they were found, I don't like to put my stamp on it, because, as I just said, every news entity does not have the same information. You still probably got some people reporting a story and they have still, days in didn't say, oh yeah, the wallet was here, a coat was here. I don't know.
No, I totally agree with you on that. It's kind of crazy. I mean, it's almost like that game where you line people up and you say one thing
and pass it along. Oh yeah, yeah.
Totally different.
Yeah, I played that game one Christmas. It's true, because that's the whole thing about interpretation. That's why now I have to, if I listen to something on my phone, I have to literally not look at their mouths move and just listen at the audio, because for some reason I can't even really understand what they're saying. Just look at their mouths move. Something says no. Don't look at the people talk when they're spinning the story on the news. Just sit the phone down and just, listen. So now I'm going back, rewinding to make sure I'm hearing what they're saying. Because sometimes people tell me, well, no, Angie, that's not what they said. So then I have to go back and re-listen, because maybe I misheard something that they said and I don't want to misquote anything.
Yeah.
What are you
all even put the closed captions on the TV and stuff.
That's a very good idea. Now, sometimes they'll be a little off, the closed captions. It'd be like words, like made up words. You're like, wait a minute, is this Chinese? What are they saying? Arabic.
Yes, it doesn't make sense sometimes.
So who's liable for what happened to the ladies at the resort? Because you got people commenting and everybody is talking mad junk. I mean, all kind of nasty comments being made about the ladies. And I do say they weren't about their business, because they should have known you could have gotten hurt by the taxi driver. Let's keep it real.
Well, see, here's the thing. The thing that kind of gets me is they'd already planned this trip. So here's the thing. They would have had to look to see what the weather was going to be. They would have had to see. There were posts about
advisories,
safety issues months before they went.
Mm-hmm. But they said they didn't get it to 4 hours after the allegations.
Yeah, but I would have to disagree with that, because they had to book this trip.
Yeah.
And it was probably months in advance.
And then it had to be on the itinerary by the time you got ready to confirm the plane ticket.
Exactly.
Something.
That's why and here's the other thing. They kept saying a group of two is not a group. That tends to make me believe that they saw it and figured if they were in a group of two, it would be okay.
Well, the point is, once you get on any trip, you don't have to do what somebody else is doing. So when you got off the boat, You were on your own. That's common sense.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't have an excursion already planned with guides from the boat, then whatever you did once you got off the boat was on your own. Whether you walked in a circle, sat by the pier, you see where I'm going? You looked in the shops.
Yeah.
Everything you did was on your own. And another thing I find interesting is that they made it back to the boat in time to board the boat. So how long were they out? See, people don't ask the pertinent questions.
Yeah, that's the other thing that kind of caught me off. After all that rigmarole, here we go with that word again.
Shimana the shimana. Yes.
They still made it back to the boat in time to board so they could get home.
Mm-hmm. And they were offered counseling services by the boat company. They declined because they wanted to get back, which I understand that. You want to get the hell on. But I also think what's interesting is that the Bahamian police told them if they tried to file a report, tried to take the rape kit, they wouldn't be able to get back to America. Who does? So that's robbery. If that's true.
But that's wrong too. And then if that's the case, why not give them a rape kit because they've arrested 2 men?
Right. So what you're going to have to compare it? They're going to deny it. Who's going to admit to raping 2 white women that are U.S. citizens? Nobody. Exactly. So all you're going to have is if you test their DNA, get a sperm count, blood, whatever, hair, whatever, to test against whatever they took from the women. So now we got to ask, what did the American people or the people on the boat take from the girls as far as internally?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's no telling what they've done. And if anything, the Bahamas will probably want to find a culprit so that everything quiets down because the Bahamas is mostly like tourists.
Yeah, so they already got 2 culprits, okay? Somebody called the Daily Mail anonymously and said that one of the guys is affiliated with somebody that has a high rank on the island. So I don't know what that's about, if there's any truth to that, but we will see how it unfolds.
Yeah. Because Bahamas, they're about the money, so they got to get this closed quickly.
Yeah, but that's the point.
Regardless whether they have the right people or not.
That's true too. You're right. Maybe they don't. But she can go and view the photographs of the mugshots to say, yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's not him. You understand? So she says she knows what he looks like because she's got pictures of him in her phone or whatever. That's another thing that's interesting. You're going to rape somebody and they just took your picture? Mm-hmm. That's dumb.
Well, it all depends on how stupid criminals are going to be.
And they are stupid.
Yes. Yes, and I don't know if you heard about the Harmony Montgomery thing.
Enlighten me.
The father is willing to plead guilty to improper disposal of a body and some other things.
Okay.
But I think he's doing that so he can point the finger at his wife and say that she's the one that unalived that baby.
Okay, all right. I don't talk about that story, but every blue moon I'll see something come up in the queue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's bad. Every time you turn around, there's something going on with some kid. It's bad.
Okay. Somebody in the chat says, what the hell smells funky to me? Dang, I'm glad I'm a homebody. Somebody else says something fishy. So a lot of people are saying that in the queue under the videos pertaining to this crime. And that's what's sad because, it's wrong to victim blame. But people feel like, at some point, we all have to take responsibility for our doings, our travels, our responses to things. You have heard thousands of times horrible stories of people going on vacation wherever they go. So you walking around looking like a tourist, smelling like a tourist, you are ripe for the taking.
Well, if I went to the Bahamas and I had my friend or my sister with me, I would be like, okay, tonight you drink and I'll stay sober. That way, if something happens.
Well, that's what I just read that. That's so weird you would say that because there are people who are saying that. And I'm thinking, how's this fun if only one of us is drinking and the other one is not? That's not really a fun trip. That's no different than going out here in America. Why are both of us going to go out and only one drink? It's okay if one doesn't drink and they're the driver. But they just want to go out and hear the music. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we have 2 drinkers.
Course, they have a locked cabin on a boat. So if they wanted to drink, y'all stay in your cabin and do it. I mean, you guys are in another country with total strangers. It's not safe unless you're able to lock yourself in there.
Tears Ran Dry says, in my opinion, there's a difference between victim and a volunteer. Wow, that's cold. So what are you saying? They voluntarily gave themselves to be victims? Damn. Beverly, you thumbs up in that. Because I told myself, I'm not about to sit here and say they took drugs themselves and took them down into the islands and drugged themselves, because that would be crazy as hell to do that. But it's not saying that people don't do crazy shit now. But the bruising on the legs and all that, how'd they get that? You see what I'm saying? Where would you get the drugs? Yeah. You carried them drugs to the airport. And then how would you have gotten your legs bruised up and all that scratched up? Let's say, be a bit much. But it's not to say people haven't done things to themselves to get attention.
Well, that's why I say I think something happened, and I don't think part of it was voluntarily. Now, whether they were having a good time with a bunch of guys and it went too far.
Could be, because you've got to explain all this interaction with eyewitnesses. She said there were people from the boat on the same beach. So that means what? How many people were on the boat? What's the proximity of where they stood to get the drinks from the front door, side door, restroom? See, all that's important because they had to have gotten in the bathroom some type of way. So you telling us you had 2 drinks, less than an hour, you're feeling funky, you come out the water, and then you start talking about looking for shells. Well, why am I going to look for shells if I'm starting to feel a little bit weird? I'm not going to want to look for no fucking shells either.
Exactly.
But everybody's different.
Anything, I'm going to be looking for a taxi to find my way back to the boat.
Or I might want to sit down for a minute and drink some water and let that wear off. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Find a way into the resort to cool off in the air condition and possibly get a bottle of water.
So that's what we need to ask. Chairs outside, proximity from the chairs, sitting areas to coming from the water, or they came out, walked with the guys, go look for the shells, and then they went somewhere secluded and the guys jumped them, raped them, and then what? They wore off, the girls woke up, and then, but that doesn't make sense because they said they woke up in the bathroom. One of them woke up in the bathroom. So you got to make it make sense.
Exactly. It doesn't. That's why I say, something might have.
Because you can't wake up in the bathroom and be assaulted. You mean that means they walked them back into the hotel and raped them in the bathroom and left them there and then walked back out. That's the only way that would have happened.
That's what I'm thinking. Mm-hmm. But I'm also thinking that possibly they were hanging out with them because the story is too funny. Like, they brought us drinks. They told us where to find seashells. Mm-hmm. Like a hotel worker has time to sit and babysit.
And that's what should have been obvious to them if this story is truthful. They have offered you drinks. You've gone in the water. You've come out. Did you actually go look for the shells, or it was offered where to go get the shells? See, I'm confused on that. And how did you end up in the bathroom passed out? Because what fool is getting ready to be in your face this much? It's unheard of. Now, it's not saying that people don't goof off on their jobs and they're not doing what they're supposed to do. So we got to ask that, number one. Were they actual employees, or were they using employee clothing? Okay? See, you got to say, whoa. Yeah. How'd they get them in the bathroom? Why would nobody notice 2 black men or dark men going in the bathroom, or brown-skinned men with 2 white women? Come on now. This is just bullshit. This is just crazy. See, we got this open gap from the water to the bathroom.
And with all them people that were from the boat on the beach.
And that's not including the people at the resort. How many people are actually at the resort on the beach? You got to make it make sense. And that's where this is all fuzzy, from the water to the bathroom and waking up. How long were you there? How'd you get there? How'd you get in the bathroom? Were your legs under the stall? Were you sitting on the toilet? Did they assault them on the toilet? Was it a 1-room bathroom where they pushed the women in there and then they locked the rooms? Wouldn't somebody notice something 2 men coming out of a women's restroom or a men's restroom? See?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
There is too many open gaps, too many holes.
I'm going to rape a woman in the bathroom, then come back out and not worry about somebody banging on the door needing to use the restroom, and I'm coming out with a woman slumped over in the toilet or on the floor. When people see that, when somebody didn't go call security, hey, there's a body in here. See, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
And said people were standing around them when they came to, or one of them came to. Very odd. Very.
I mean, there's just so many holes that at this point it's kind of like, well, like I said, I figure something happened, but we don't have the whole story, so.
All right, Mud Pie, stop it now. Come on.
She's gonna get us all in trouble.
Yeah, it's the time frame for me and the moving around without no eyewitnesses to say, hey, there's something suspicious going on with these guys and these girls.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Normally when things happen, you got many people, eyewitnesses that want to speak.
Yeah.
And right now, there's no one.
That's what I'm saying. Where did the assault take place?
Exactly.
On the beach or inside of the resort?
Well, you know that anyone that lives in the Bahamas or works in that resort isn't going to want to say anything, but there were other people there, so...
So, do you think the hotel should be liable and also the cruise ship?
The hotel should only be liable if it was their workers.
Okay.
If it wasn't their workers, it's not their problem. And I don't see how the cruise ship can be held liable either,
because you went out on your own.
Exactly. Okay, if there was such a problem or a danger, why didn't they keep the people on the cruise ship? Yeah.
Because that's a part of the excursion, getting off and docking and going out.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. The other thing is, the cruise ship, or when they booked in advance, they were given warnings. I mean, people are not going to take a trip and not look at your warnings, your weather.
Well, you know what? This is how I look at it. To blame the cruise ship would be really no different than blaming the resort if you were visiting the resort. And let's say you took an excursion over to an island to go on a hiking trail. Well, whatever happened at the hiking trail don't have nothing to do with me unless, once again, as you said, my staff took you over there.
Exactly.
Drove you on a van, bus, tour bus, something like that. But once you go off on your own from anywhere, hotel, resort, boat, you are on your own if there is no staff included in the excursion, wherever you went.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. The only ones that could be held liable, I think, is the hotel, only if the two men were employees of the...
Now, imagine this, Hagen. Imagine the men don't work for them. Now, that's going to be a doozy.
Oh, yeah. See, that was another possibility. I was sitting there going, what if they didn't work?
I said, if they don't work, yes. What if they do not even work? They just walked up in shorts and a shirt. Hey, how you doing? We work here. Here's some drinks. Ain't no way I'm going to take no drinks from no motherfucker. I wouldn't do it. I would go to the bar and order or sit at the table, then get up and go to the water or on the beach. I'm going to order my drink where everybody else is ordering their drinks.
And then I was also thinking about these ladies might live in like Podunk, Kentucky, where there's nothing, there's no worries, no problems. So everything's good. So they go around the world on a boat and thinking everybody's nice and the world is fine.
Well, we learned of assaults on the cruise ship. I played that last night. Children assaulting children, all type of nonsense. You don't know people. Just like when you go to any place that's foreign, as long as somebody has keys to a room, apartment complex, Airbnb, there is anything can happen. Women have been accosted and hurt and unalived in their own apartments because of maintenance staff. Somebody broke in through a window, a door. Nowhere is safe because any place can be breached. That's the point.
Yeah. But you get these little towns like I live in, and for a long time it was safe to leave your doors unlocked and your keys in your car. Not anymore.
Yeah, you can't do that because people ride around looking for places to break into. That's why I don't like rural places, because you go to work and gone all day. Who's gonna run to save you if you're there alone or if the house is vacant? Because even if you live far out, let's say you have an alarm system, but the police department's 40 minutes away, a person can rip you blind before the authorities even show up to assess the alarm.
Yes.
It's just common sense.
We live in the woods, and every time I have to call the police, I start the timer, and it's like 40 minutes.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm
too
thinking,
long.
oh my God, thank God we weren't killed.
Well, that's the whole point. You could be getting out your drive, or you could have a mailbox at the end of the drive, and you pull up to that. Anybody could jump out or bump your car. You're on your own.
Yeah.
You're on your own.
And people used to think if they live in the woods and not in the city, or, that they were safe. That's not the case.
Yeah, nowhere safe.
No, schools, grocery store, nothing.
Yeah, nothing's safe. You can't go to church. You can't ride. You can't go to school. You can't go to college. You can't go to a concert. You can't go to a bar. You can't go to an outdoor event. All it takes is somebody to get hee-haw happy, pull out a gun, knife, or a car, mow everybody down, street closed off, because we have sick people. And yes, we have those rare occasions where people live out in the middle of nowhere, and it's really the perfect opportunity because they know how long it's going to take for authorities to get to the house.
Yeah. And no matter how good your security system
exactly
is, it doesn't matter when you're dead.
Yeah, and then two, I can cut that. So that doesn't mean anything. Somebody has to be looking at their phone to see, okay, there's a breach, but I can't get there in time if I'm out of town or at work and somebody's at home or not at home. Okay, the screen's blank. Okay, the alarm's going off. You get a notification. Okay, somebody's cut the wires, but you're still not there. And God forbid somebody is there and they don't notice somebody's cut the, line to the electricity, or the ADT line or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a terrible thing. It's horrible, horrible, horrible to even have to think about these things. And you don't want to dwell on these things to where you stop living, but you have to be aware of your faculties at all times. You have to have a plan B and a plan C in case of an emergency, whether you're at home or you are traveling out abroad or just in town shopping. It's all the same.
Yeah. Or even putting your children on the school bus or going up to the school to pick your kids up or anything.
Yeah. Well,
it's just awful that this world has come to that. And, now we have all these illegal immigrants coming in through holes in the wall because Biden decided to cut holes in the wall, and they're bidding them off on Facebook and eBay. And
what's on eBay?
You can actually buy panels of the border wall.
Oh, panels. What do you mean panels?
Where they've cut pieces of the border wall out.
I don't understand you. Who cut it?
Biden has had them cut pieces of the border wall, leaving gaps where these people can get through.
Well, see, I don't agree with that. That makes no sense. And some cities are not sanctuary cities, such as information I brought you the other day when I went live over the weekend. And, Colorado Springs and different places in Texas. Everybody's not for bringing in because maybe they don't have the resources, to house an influx of people. And I get that. If we barely living here, we don't have the resources to have, 400 people just coming into a small town of maybe, 10,000 or 5,000.
Yeah.
So that's understandable.
And then you have these nonprofit organizations sitting at the gaps in the wall with water, clothes, blankets.
Yeah, I'm going to play that one video about the Chinese, and we'll weigh on that.
That's crazy, too, because I'm like, hold up, what about our homeless? What about our vets? What about,
nobody cares about that.
Can we not take care of the United States first?
Yeah, because I disagree with all the shit that's going on in New York with all those homeless people up there, and then you're going to let these people get bussed in from Texas and different places and then put them up in swanky hotels. And it's like, okay, so what about the people you already had sleeping on the street? You would never think to put them in a swanky hotel temporarily, 3 months or whatever. But these people got bussed here, which is wrong to even be busing these people to colder climates. And then now the city has to pick up the slack when the city's already expensive to live. not taking care of their own homeless people, destitute people, people needing the apartments and houses. New York City is a small island. People think it's so big. It's not. And then here comes this influx of people. Then we've got them committing crimes, the police situation of them costing the police, didn't arrest them, now rearrested. It's just too much. It's too much. And I think a lot of politicians don't want to look bad in arresting these people. But if you have put your hands on law officials or anybody else, you do deserve to go to jail, and your ass needs to be put in ice and get on back where you came from.
Well, my question to them, or anyone that says that the migrant thing is fine, or, they don't care, what would happen if us American citizens cross a country line illegally? We're going to jail, and they're going to put us underneath that jail to make a point.
Say what now?
They're not going to put us up in a motel or give us a taxi ride here, or.
Well, most of us are still struggling now. Most of us are barely making it. Like I said, you have people barely making it, barely living, barely got enough food, don't got a car, don't want to drive, whatever the situation is, and nobody's busting them nowhere. Nobody's taking them around for free. That's why this is crazy to me. Some of us might want to move somewhere else ourselves, start a new life. Can we just go out here, pack up all our stuff, and start telling people, hey, can you move me to Texas? Can you move me to New York? Can you move me to LA? Can you find me a place to live? Can you get me some food? Can you get me some clothes? No, you're on your own. I would love to move from here right now. I would love to just leave and go move to a new city, start a new life.
Yeah.
But that's my responsibility, not the government.
Yeah. It's just crazy, though, because, the money that's forked out, I believe, in Yuma, Arizona, the sheriff said $15 million it's costing them to deal with the migrant situation.
Yeah, it's out of control. And the one guy whose content I listened to on the video with the Chinese coming over, it's just despicable that the police will be called on him because they were passing on his property and he shot a gun off, which naturally you're not supposed to shoot any weapons outside of your home. But he has no rights at this point, and that's not fair to him because they're littering, they're loitering. Setting fires. Yeah, you're setting fires to the man's property. He has to go clean that debris up. So now it's just a matter of just leaving it there because what's the point in cleaning it up when now here comes somebody else and they're littering and loitering, leaving behind their tents, clothes. They're even leaving behind their passports, all kind of crazy stuff. So I thought, why would you leave your passport behind? Aren't you going to want to travel somewhere else when you get yourself together? I wouldn't leave my passport, just throwing it off on the ground. For what? You'd have flown all this way and you're going to throw your passport on the ground. As if you don't need the passport for later. That makes no fucking sense.
Well, the whole point is that way, they could come in as whoever they want to be.
Good point. Now, that's a very good point. Let me write that down. Let me take that note. That's very true. Because they say they're vetting the people.
In their country or their RSOs, and they don't have because they're coming in illegally already. If they don't have the proper paperwork, they could be anybody.
Right. And that's what I understand when America says we're vetting them to let them go on and be dumped in the U.S. Well, how are you vetting somebody when you don't know anything about them, number one? Two, like you said, I can give you any old name. What are you going to pit it against?
Yeah.
What are you going to pit it against? A migrant, a Spanish migrant.
Not only that, the sheriff in Yuma, he took the dude around to show him, and he said, pick up them pesos and dollars, and they were not American money. And he's like, well, what is this worth? And the sheriff said, nothing.
Yeah, well, you can't use it here.
It's worth nothing here in the United States.
Right. Wow. And then the smugglers, that's a whole nother subject. YouTube videos showing you how to fly around, get to that border, pictures of it, plus paying the smugglers, how to connect with them to get to the place to where you could squeeze through that steel beams and the rock.
Or you had the people with video cameras watching as the smugglers come to the other side of that wall and dump off 40, 50, 60 people. And they just come through the hole in the wall or the gap or wherever, And Border Patrol, the bad part about that is Border Patrol picks them up, taxis them to a detention center. They spend a few days there, they get a court date, and then they let them roam free in the United States, and that court date could be 10, 15 years away.
Yeah. Well, they showed the one guard watching the where the beams were, and they just coming through. He didn't do anything. He just stood there. So it's like, why is he there? Because naturally, ain't nobody trying to cross over the border to go to Mexico. So the people are coming from Mexico. So why do you need Border Patrol on the U.S. side? And he's just standing there with a weapon. It made no sense to have him standing there.
Yeah. I mean, you actually have people that are doing the trek just to see if it's possible, going through the Darien Gap and everything. And a lot of the places that they go through, they're saying that they don't want the migrants or immigrants in their country. So from the border to the border, they'll bust them out to get them out because they don't want the garbage. Don't want. There's been a lot of trouble in other countries over all this.
I don't understand what you say. Other countries.
Okay, from southern Mexico to Nicaragua, they will put them all on a bus in southern Mexico and bus them all the way to Nicaragua so that
do they have to pay?
The area of land that they're busing them through doesn't see them have anything to do with them because they're cluttering up their towns, they're causing problems, they're leaving garbage.
Yeah. So it's free to ride on this bus. So somebody's got to be paying for the bus, though, to drive it back and forth. Got to put gas in it.
Yeah, but the whole thing is from point A to point B, they're doing where they're putting them on a bus and not stopping that bus or not letting them off the bus till they hit the other border.
Interesting.
In other countries because they don't want to deal with it. And then like I said, as American, if we go to another country and step across the border illegally, they're going to put us under the jail. Why are they, spend 4 days in a camp, go in front of a judge, and then be let free into the United States?
Well, that's what was said. Once they vetted you, the 3-day process of having you in the detention center, everything checks out, you're getting wrong in the United States. That's that.
And then in the process of it all, the United States citizens and our tax dollars pay for all this.
Well, I don't see an end in sight because so long as you're going to leave the borders open to get through and people are making videos to show you how to get through and where to fly and all of that, then it's going to remain the same because this is what I'm talking about with social media. Who would think that somebody has made videos, posted it to YouTube on how to fly to this country, that country, to get the closest to Mexico and how to contact a smuggler to then get to the border and squeeze through the little crack between that one little opening between the steel beam and the rock. It's barbaric as hell. Just watching it, and then a border patrol officer sitting there with heavy artillery to do nothing. But if that's an area where America says they can come through, then what can you complain about?
Yeah,
you can't complain.
Well, when the older gentleman, called and said, why don't you guys fix it? He was told that it takes money.
But this is what makes no sense about that, okay? When you put the beam up, you saw that you could get through the opening. So that didn't make any sense. You could see the people coming through, going around the beam, and the rock is sitting, which would be to their left. You could see the space that you could squeeze through. So you knew that when you put the beam up that a person could squeeze by the beam.
Yes, they knew that because there was barbed wire that they can just hop under.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, sweetheart, before you do the barbed wire, you put the beam up first, the tall beam. You didn't put the beam up to block them from squeezing around that, to squeeze through that and the rock.
Exactly.
Because the beam had to go up before the barbed wire, I would assume.
Yeah.
So there was a space to squeeze through there. So what was the barbed wire going to do? People could easily throw stuff over it to try to break it down, like a backpack, a jacket. Everybody get their jackets together to break it down. Then there's no more barbed wire.
Yeah.
It's bad. Well, I'm going to check out of here. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back with more content probably tomorrow. I got to find something to talk about tomorrow. I might resume this Bahama Bahama Mama business. Oh Lord, this is wicked. Very wicked. Well, you have a wonderful evening, dear, and a good weekend, and I'll be back in touch with you, okay?
All right, you too.
You too, honey. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bye. All right, everybody. That's Miss Hagan. She's one of the chat members. I'm going to check out of here, but I want to thank you all for joining me. Thanks for taking the polls during this live stream. Thank you for commenting, and thank you for taking the polls on my community page. Go over there to take the polls. Comment if you want. But like I said, if you're using your government name, you may not want to comment on certain topics. I'll be back with more stimulating content and commentary. Going to try to keep you abreast on the situation of the two Kentucky women who went to the Bahamas on a cruise and then went on dry land and were allegedly assaulted by two men. Those two men have been arrested in the investigation. A 50-plus-year-old man and a 40-year-old man. They have not released their races, but one will probably assume that they are Bahamian men, brown. So we will go with that. When I get more information and pictures, I'll bring you that. But we need to know about the time frame, where they were assaulted. Why are there no eyewitnesses? Will we have eyewitnesses come forward? How did they get into the hotel bathrooms? If we're assuming that's where they were accosted, something's missing with the gaps. And we're going to see what happens. If the truth is revealed, if there will be justice for these women, who's going to be liable? The resort, the cruise line, statements from either, both. They have a lawyer. I'll bring you an update. And once again, if you'd like to donate to this network, $Beganji, 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during a live stream. Once again, thank you, Ms. Hagan. I will be back later, possibly tomorrow, with more content. And I probably will post tomorrow because I've posted so many questions. YouTube has told me, okay, enough now. 24 hours. You got to wait. So I'll bring you more updates to the network. Take the polls, be heard. And feel free to go back and watch this live stream. It's winded now, almost 3 hours. But you can go back and take the polls yourself or comment on the polls under this video. Once I come out of here, it'll be uploaded in the YouTube queue. And you can comment below the video. Oh, the movies I recommended? Oh, yeah. I saw one last night. I can't remember the name of it, but when they let me post, I'll put that movie up that I watched this morning. Kind of fell asleep on the ending, but anyway, it's about this couple meet this lady, and she wants to try to introduce them to swinging. It's a very crazy movie, and it's like funny. I saw that movie, and then I asked these crazy questions this morning about swinging, and I think that's why I asked it, because I watched that movie late and kind of fell asleep on it. But I'll get back and I'll put that movie up suggestion. I'll write it down when I go back here in the Roku channel, because that's what I'm on right now, Roku. And I'm just going through their little menu, finding movies to recommend for you all. And some of the movies are also recommendations from the YouTube queue. And if you get bored and you want recommendations, just go into YouTube, type in free movies or movies in general. It'll let you know if you need to buy, pay, rent, whatever. Or some of them are free. They're already uploaded. You can just watch them on your phone, your devices, or cast it to your television. I prefer casting to my TV. So that's how I roll. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Great live stream. Great live. Yes, it was indeed. You all be careful this weekend. Be safe. Warmer temperatures are around lately. So be safe. Enjoy yourself. If you're going to be out in Miami this weekend, Super Bowl this weekend. So be safe. Get a designated driver. And then I'm also going to check on the Kansas City 3 to see what updates they have. And then I might just do an all-around live with different subject matters, cut down my live time to have various subjects in the live. You've been listening to The Vault. Exhale. Thank you. Good night, everyone.